Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all? I hope you're all good. Anyone remember this? This was 2 months ago. Looking good. Customers just left. Right, I'm doing the side passage that I didn't do last time. They've moved all their stuff. Superb. Patio's looking good. Along here. So, we looked at this last time, didn't we? Wow, it's really overgrown. This has been seriously neglected. Go easy on these people. They're really nice. They work a lot, so things just get neglected. And I don't think they're sort of that way inclined. Some people like to garden, some don't, and I don't think these do. So that's hence why they pay people like me to clear it up, you know. So anyway, there's that. That's going to be one hell of a transformation. All along here. So I did consider getting an attachment for my steel multi-tool, but they were £150, and I'm simply not spending that amount for one job. I imagine this is probably the only time I'll need it for a long time, so I'm just going to turbo along the edges, do it that way. You've all seen me do that. It works, it's not a problem, and it does 2-in-1 jobs, so it cuts and cleans at the same time. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. This pathway along here. Right, this bit here, from there onwards, that's a dumping ground. They said to leave that alone, so from there onwards I'm leaving alone. Okay, so don't moan at me for not cleaning it. I have to respect what they say, and they've told me not to clean it. So along here, round here, wow, got moss on that. A little bit around there. Cracked pot. What people call me. Cracked pot. This, you literally wouldn't even know it was there. It's so overgrown, so smothered with weeds. You can barely see it. Look at it. It's a nice brick sort of path with a plant feature area in the middle, so that's supposed to be there, but there's always sort of board around here. You'll see when I clear up, and then it sort of stops there. Yeah, no, they've covered it. Hold on. It goes up to the end. There, that's where it stops. But look, they've actually covered it up. So who am I to uncover it? If they've chosen to cover that up, then I should obviously leave it how they've done it. So cover that back up. I mean, it does just stop there anyway, which is weird because it didn't go to the edge. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get this done. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's washed, so there's plenty of black spot. I'm going to do the whole lot with a brush because the black spot is pretty bad. I'll see you. There you are. Okay guys, that's me done. That was worse than expected. So I've had to go over some areas 5 times. There are still some spots left, especially on the brick area. I think I'm at my 95% black spot removal rate. So let me turn you around. Okay. So I'll just put muddy feet prints on here, so I will wash them off before I go, but that's the brick sort of area. It's still very wet and soapy, but you can see vast improvement. I'm not convinced some of the black areas are black spot. You get a lot of bricks do have sort of black pigmentation in them, so I think what you're seeing in the bricks there is what that is. But yeah, look, I think there are a couple of spots still left on it. I've gone over it 5 times, no more. I mean, you saw how badly overgrown it was. I'm amazed I've actually got it to the level it is now. So I just need to wash that bit there, wipe it down. So yeah, there, that needs a quick rinse as well. But yeah, looking good. There's actually a path now. So you can see the sort of scorch marks along the side. That's completely normal when you're putting sodium hypochlorite onto paving. It's something that I always pre-warn the customer about. Those little white bits will just die back, and then within a month or 2 the grass will start to grow again. But yeah, it's perfectly normal. Okay, so the circles come up nice. Yeah. Customer wants me to quote to point this now. Okay, so the paths come up nice as well. I've just poured some tap safe treatment in there. I didn't see anything go in, but you just never know. And up here, what I didn't do last time. I mean, this concrete's a bit rough. So I mean, you can put makeup on a pig, but it's still a pig. I do like that saying. So yeah. Okay guys, it's been quite a hard day. My knee's playing up a bit today, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. So to all my subscribers and to any of you guys that had been unsubscribed, which I'd mentioned on the last video that I'd lost a load of subscribers. A load of you have mentioned that YouTube had unsubscribed you and you'd resubscribe, so massive thank you for rejoining. Welcome back, even though you didn't intentionally leave, but I appreciate you rejoining. But thanks very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers guys.